Hello and welcome to Business Edition. In this program, among the issues, we're focusing on road infrastructure development in Tanzania, and in particular with the use of bitumen as a product in road infrastructure development. We'll be talking to some of the stakeholders who took part in this year's Argus Bituman Africa Conference, which took place in Dar es Salaam, to hear what they've got to say about this product and the sector as a whole. In the Entrepreneur today, we're looking at Hello Food as we talk to Sheriann Abdul. And in Brand Talk today, we feature Airtel with Airtel Yatosha Zaidi. My name is Yvonne Msima, saying welcome to Business Edition. With me right now, I have James Gooder, and he's from Argus, and they're the organizers of this conference that took place in Dar es Salaam. So if we go straight to the question, why now? And with particular focus in bitumen.
This is our second African bitumen conference that Argus has held. The last one was in Cape Town. And we're delighted to be in East Africa because this is really where the trade is happening. We want to bring together suppliers of bitumen from the Middle East with buyers, with road agencies here in Tanzania, in East Africa and the continent more generally, to get those relationships going, to get those road projects built, to interconnect the parts of Africa more closely. Argus is a information company and as well as an events company, and we provide information about markets, and with all our contacts it provides a perfect venue to bring the buyers, the sellers, the governments, everybody together to develop a more interconnected Africa.
So you've spent about a whole day in a meeting. You've heard a lot of experiences. The stakeholders have shared their experiences, you've learned from them. What are they saying?
Well, one problem is that there is likely to be less bitumen around. Now, oil prices have fallen a great deal, as we all know, which is great. If you look at the pump here in Dar es Salaam, prices are much lower than they were, and they'll probably go a bit further. But these days, people are building super modern mega refineries that are designed to produce more petrol, more diesel, and less of the heavy residual products like bitumen. So what we've been hearing from Shell and from others today is that buyers, importers of bitumen will have to look further afield. They will have to understand the markets beyond the Middle East. They'll have to look at Europe, the Far East, at the Americas to get the best deal for their bitumen, to make sure that they do the work that they need to in the most sustainable, cost-effective way. So that's what we're trying to do, is give people a view of those options around the world.
But how do they see Africa?
They see Africa as the biggest growth opportunity in the world right now, because nowhere is growing as quickly as Africa. If you look at the Far East, which has been the growth engine for a lot of the economic development and, frankly, high oil prices that we've seen over the past 10, 15 years, China, Southeast Asia, India are still growing, but not as quickly. You don't have this kind of 8-9% GDP growth that we're seeing in a lot of African countries. So Africa is starting from a relatively low base, but the opportunity is there, the growth is there, and anybody with an eye to the future that's looking for a good investment prospect has to start here.
There are challenges, companies that we've seen that taking part in this conference. What do you think are the likely challenges that they're likely to face in a country like Tanzania?
Investment, and the fact that a lot of these projects are done through government agency and are not necessarily put out to competitive tender, so to give as many possible partners the best opportunity to get involved. Now, of course, you have to vet all the companies involved. They have to prove that they're able to supply the right quality. You don't want to spend billions building a road system. After 5 years, it's cracked and falling apart. It's important that government is involved, but I think there's more work to do to bring competition into the process, to bring more stakeholders in, to bring more companies together to showcase their own experience and their own abilities, and then again you'll get a better deal. And that's part of what we're trying to do here, is allow companies to show themselves off to the agencies, to the buyers, in order that when projects are launched, it's at the best possible price to the taxpayer of Tanzania, and that the roads are as good quality as they can possibly be and will be an investment for the future, not money thrown away.
What have the response been so far from the government and its institutions in this conference?
That there are some very advanced projects underway, not only here in Tanzania, also in Malawi, in Zambia, and the involvement of the World Bank is very important. Also, there's a lot of investment coming from China, which obviously is expanding its own commercial links in the region. And so the response from the government seems to be that they are open to understanding the market better. I mean, let's not forget this is a market, you know, and the prices change from week to week, and it's important to be as informed as you can about where your supply is coming from, and I think it looks really promising to us.
So at the end of the day, do you think that companies that took part in this conference are likely to come back and do something in Tanzania, or was it just for them to come and showcase who they are? And yeah,
I mean, one reason that we wanted to come to Tanzania, to East Africa, is because we see that there's this big potential here, and we haven't had an event in this part of the country before. We've done a lot of work in South Africa, but there is this big potential here, and I think that this is the opportunity for people that are involved in these projects in this part of the world to get together, and we would love to hold this conference again in this part of the world and build on that, and also make our own connections while we're here.
And now, from the Road Development Agency in Zambia, I have with me Dixon Lovu. Welcome.
Thank you.
Neighbors, and would like to hear your experience. When we look at road infrastructure development in Zambia, how do you assess it?
Right now, Zambia has been mostly, the biggest disadvantage is the fact that Zambia has been a land-locked country. We're now implementing a program, a massive infrastructure program called the Link Zambia 8000 that is looking to land-link Zambia now to its neighbors to facilitate trade and the economy, stimulate the economy. So there's a lot of infrastructure projects ongoing, and a lot of opportunities, especially for bitumen, the importation of bitumen, because most of these, all the 8,000 kilometers I'm talking about will be upgraded to bitumen standard.
And how do you assess the quality of roads in Zambia?
Well, qualities are good, but we do have a few challenges, and we're working around those challenges, either through contractor capacity building. I think challenges with construction are in any country, and we do have them in Zambia, but we're taking steps to see how we can improve that.
I have Dion Pagel, and he's from Sabita. Maybe just a little bit about what is Sabita.
Organization was started in 1979 as a industry organization that really looks after the interests of the producers, the consumers, and the applicators of bituminous products in South Africa, across the board. In other words, it's a center of excellence that really promotes good use of bitumen and bituminous products in the industry.
When we look at the road in South Africa, the infrastructure development there and the road is, of course, you're way ahead of Tanzania. What can we learn from you, you know, when you look at the road infrastructure development in Tanzania?
We are fortunate that we have rolled out through SANRAL, which is our local roads agency, many freeway projects, and those are the ones that obviously stand out as being there to be seen. However, we have as many challenges as you in terms of rural areas where we need to upgrade. We've got a huge road infrastructure, 650,000 kilometers of roads. That's official roads. I think what one has to learn is industries or associations such as ours are valuable, so that one can ensure that what you do good, and that you have standards and ethics and things that will ensure long-lasting, good quality roads, because roads are tremendously expensive to build. However, if you do it properly, you get them to last so much longer. And I think that is part and parcel of what Sabita does. It certainly tries to maximize the lifespan of that what you build so that you can get maximum value for money.
A country like Tanzania is lacking. When we look at the quality of roads in the country, the quality in many parts of the country is substandard. So maybe we've had something like, Sabita. It would have helped to upgrade the quality of our roads.
Yes,
even though we do have a regulating body.
Yes,
we do, but,
indeed. I was going to say you do have your roads authorities and specifications and so on. It's just that Sabita is specifically around the bituminous industry. In other words, it's part of the broader roads authorities that are there, but it looks in detail at let us call it the black stuff on which we ultimately drive. And yes, I'm not sure exactly in what detail those aspects are looked at in Tanzania, but if you ask me, is that something that could be looked into? I would say yes, and of course we are always there to assist and to guide and to help as we do with standards and so on. We have a number of standards that are under review at the moment, which are coming out some towards the end of the year. We have our major, every 4 years we have the conference on asphalt pavements, which is happening. It's a highly technical conference that happens in August this year at Sun City. So we invite all Malawians, Zimbabweans, Tanzanians, everybody who is in Southern Africa, and in fact it's an international conference, to come and join us at CAPSA.
With me right now is one of the sponsors of the Argus Africa Bituman 2015 conference, which took place in Dar es Salaam. His name is Kutaiba Ahmed,
yes.
And he's the manager of operations, Zahara Energy DMCC. Welcome to the program.
Yes, thank you very much.
As one of the sponsors, what are your expectations from this conference that brought together a lot of stakeholders?
From this conference, we are willing to start up a good infrastructure here in the African countries, especially in Tanzania, to build up the roads, as we are considered one of the suppliers of bitumen, which is the main thing to build up the roads here in Africa and in Tanzania itself.
When we look at the quality of roads in Dubai,
yes,
they're excellent. What's the secret behind their success?
The secret of that comes to, they are like having the pre-arrangements of everything. They didn't think that Dubai would not expand in the world and would be known as one of the biggest cities of the world. So they kept thinking of, we are not thinking of only one step. They are thinking 4 or 5 steps ahead. Mm-hmm. So that's why they came up with the good roads over there. The infrastructure is amazing over there. They are using different nationalities to come up with the great idea of having Dubai as it is.
And of course, the issue of standards, which is something that a country like Tanzania is facing. So when it comes to companies that are given tenders to construct roads, what happens to make sure that, maybe you can give us an example of Dubai. What does Dubai do to make sure that they get companies that really produce quality roads?
They get tenders from all over the world. They, to start up a project, you have to see which is suitable to your country. So given, using, the experiences of other cities and countries all over the world will make you help you out to make the country infrastructure perfect for you for even for a minimum time of years. Even let's say, for example, 10 years is enough. So at that time also you can progress, fixing other roads also.
So I have with me one of the sponsors of this conference. His name is Salman Mulaboy, and he's the chairman of Richmond Mercantile Limited. Welcome to the program. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about this company.
We are a family in business since 1905, so it's 110 years. I'm third generation, a fourth generation representative also here, and we are into steel and petroleum products. Bitumen is one of them. We do fuel oil, diesel, and of course, various steel products.
Okay. You've decided to come to this conference in Dar es Salaam. You've sponsored it. What are your expectations?
We have been supplying to this market, to Tanzania, to Kenya, to Zambia, and we've been looking at it as, Africa, everyone's looking at it as the place for future growth. So we think it's very exciting, and from what we're hearing from the speakers, particularly from the government side, this whole region seems to be very, very promising.
Okay. And how do you assess the market? Because you have been in Tanzania, and when we look at the quality of road infrastructure in the country, there's a lot to say. The quality is substandard in many parts of the country. So when you look at the opportunities, you see the opportunities, but are they readily accessible? Is that something that you think that the government has to address? Because we know that when it comes to investors coming to the country, when they want to invest in such a sector like this, sometimes they face difficulties.
Yes. If you compare the roads here now as they were compared to, say, 5 years ago, there's a lot of improvement. In the downtown area, I was saying that they're putting concrete roads rather than bituminous roads. So roads around the city are all right, but if you go to the side roads, of course, they're pretty bad. I think if they put the right specification, bitumen is bitumen. How do I say? It's a product. It's an industrial commodity, but there are various grades within that, various processes to produce bitumen. So unless there's a proper standard, proper quality specification, you could land up with a lot of problems, and roads would crack or roads would start getting wavy, which is called rutting. And I think that's what's been happening, because substandard bitumen or substandard, what they call asphalt cement, that is the crushed stone with the bitumen is laid. If it's not done properly, then again you have a problem. So it's a combination of factors, and I think with better quality control and specification, I'm sure this can be done. It's being done other places in the world, and so I don't see why it can't be done here.
What would you like to see being done, though, by the government maybe and maybe the private sector to make sure that, the opportunities do work?
I think for the government, it's primarily a question of money, right? If they allocate the money for the roads, then the roads will be built. Now in Kenya, for example, they've started different ways of raising the money. There's something called the annuity scheme, where the contractor arranges the finance from the bank for 10 years. But the government guarantees the payment to the bank over that period of 10 years. So the government pays in installments, the contractor spends the money in 2 years and makes the road, and he's responsible for its maintenance for 10 years, so he's therefore got to make the right quality, can't run away. And the government is paying the bank. So it's a new concept, and they want to do, they say 10,000 kilometers in the next 5 years or so. Even if they do half of that, it would be quite an achievement. So, they learned that from India. So if Tanzania does the same thing, I think there is good potential. At the end of the day, infrastructure is a must for all kind of development. So, and roads is the first thing you need, connecting all over the country and the adjacent countries and so on. So yes, I think governments all over the world realize the importance of roadworks. And as you know, even in the United States, President Obama has tried to levy a tax of 14% on external profits of companies in America, and he wants to use all that money to build roads or to repair roads. So that gives employment.
What are the challenges that companies like yours face in countries like Tanzania?
Main challenge is probably to get the government and contractors together and the consultants that they use to understand the need for proper quality at every stage of the game. If you're not interested in quality and you want the road to spoil in 6 months to a year, okay, that's one part of wasting money. But you want the roads to last, and you want things, you've got to have proper specification, proper consultants, and penalties if the roads fail. If you allow the guy to give a guarantee for 1 year, he'll make a road that lasts 1 year because he knows next year he's going to get the business again. So if you make him guarantee the road 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, the contractor, then he will make doubly sure that it works. So I think these are the things. It's a bit of a learning process. And I'm sure the government is seized of this issue. As I said, I've seen improvements in the major roads around the city. It's just, I think, internally, the internal roads have to be developed, and I'm sure it will be done.
Welcome back to Business Edition, and now in the Entrepreneur today, I have with me Sheriann Abdul. She's the country manager of Hello Food. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, Yvonne. Thanks for having me.
You're in the food business, but just give us a little bit of the background behind Hello Food. Who are you, and why did you decide to come to Tanzania?
So Hello Food as a company currently works in over 44 different countries worldwide. We operate in various continents from Europe to Latin America to the Middle East. And we've recently moved to Africa because we realized that there was a growing market for e-commerce. Hello Food is a company that is based on food delivery services. All of our business is done online and on the application, and that's why it's different than anything else that's in Tanzania. So basically, we're trying to make any person who wants to order food, we're trying to make their lives easier. So all they have to do is go on an application or go online to our website, and they can look at all the restaurants that are available in their area, and within the few clicks be able to order food and get their food delivered to their homes or their offices or wherever they are. We came to Tanzania about a year ago, so it's been exactly 1 year. We started in end of January, beginning of February, so it's our 1 year anniversary now, actually.
Okay. And how do you assess the market?
We've seen a rise in the use of smartphones in the country and the use of internet in the countries. We've also realized from working with different telecoms, so we work with Tigo a lot, and we realized that there's a big interest in converting customers from only buying smartphones to actually using smartphones and using data. So you see with companies like Tigo and Airtel and Vodacom, they have a lot of campaigns that incentivize people to start using 3G and to start using data. And our application fits within that business model very well, because we're also trying to change, not only to try to make people's lives easier, but also to try to change consumer habits. So they start using e-commerce more, whether it's for food or for cars or for houses. We're part of this push to create an e-commerce market in Tanzania.
And when we look at the market, the consumers themselves, the demand, is it there? Or is it still quite something that is picking up slowly?
Absolutely. I would say the demand is there. Ever since I started in September, we've grown exponentially. I would say we're now 5 times as big as what we used to be in September. People love convenience, especially when you think about traffic in Dar es Salaam, and when you think of people not wanting to leave the home to get food. It's a very simple device, it's a very simple application. All they have to do is click on the restaurant that they want food from and then order. And obviously, we've had a lot of support with the restaurants that we work for, and they realize the importance of something like Hello Food, and they're quick to jump on and work with us and become our partners, so that we offer these services to customers in Dar es Salaam.
And when we look at the customers themselves, what type of customers? Are we looking at the office workers? Who exactly, you think that meet that demand?
Our customer is any person in Dar es Salaam that wants convenience and wants efficiency and wants to use their phone to order food. And so when I started, we saw a lot of orders coming in during after hours, so they were going to customers' homes. Since then, we've heavily promoted Hello Food to corporates and to offices, and we've seen a very positive response. We get a lot of orders during the day from people who are in their office. They probably have half an hour or 1 hour break, and it's much easier for them to order food an hour in advance, and then on their break they have the food right there in front of them, instead of wasting time leaving the office, going to buy food and coming back. So we've seen a lot of increase in orders during lunchtime, during office hours, and we're doing a lot of deliveries to offices.
So for this type of a business to be able to work, what do you need? I mean, the kind of restaurants, how do you go about doing this to make sure it works?
A variety of different steps, right? So the first thing, obviously, is the product. We need to make sure that we have the best product that Dar es Salaam has to offer. So the application is a global application. It's used, again, in 44 different countries, but it's customized on a local level. So whichever country we move to or whichever city we start operating in, we need to make sure that there are restaurants. We are restaurants partners. And the first thing we do is have a survey of the restaurants that are available, and we have all kinds of restaurants, a variety from restaurants that with very competitive prices to restaurants that target a specific audience or a specific group of people. We have all kinds of cuisines. We have Thai, we have fast food, we have local, we have continental, everything you can possibly think of. So once we have the restaurants working with us, then we need to make sure, obviously, that there is a habit of using internet or smartphones, because most of our business is done on the application, on a smartphone application that is free on any smartphone, Google Play or iStore. Then we need to obviously create an operation system. So in a variety of other countries, we don't do delivery. Hello Food is mainly a platform for people to order food online. In Tanzania, none of the restaurants do their own delivery, so we're currently providing that as a service. And so we do our own operations. And then obviously customers. We need to have customers that are interested in our product and that has never been a problem. That's definitely not a problem in Dar, as we've realized that the business is greatly expanding.
Getting employment right now is a problem. So for somebody who's started a business like yours, is it something that you think that can employ quite a number of people?
I mean, when I started, there were 2 of us in the office. It was me and another Tanzanian local. And now we've expanded and our business has grown so much that we currently have around 11 employees, and I'm the only one who's an expatriate. So obviously, the more the business grows, the more we can provide in terms of employment. And when I say 11 staff, I'm only talking about full-time staff. We still have writers, we have a call center, and we provide employment for a number of people who would not have had it without Hello Food. So there's a lot of surveys done about how startups are the way to go when you want to resolve unemployment issues. And I've seen with Hello Food that is definitely the case. I mean, as Hello Food expands, we need more people to work with us. We're not simply filling positions that have been there, and we're not recycling positions. We're creating new positions. We're creating vacancies for people to fill. There's a number of obstacles or challenges. The first, I would say, is that there are no addresses. There are no physical address system. So when we get a call from a new customer, we have to actually invest in calling that customer back to try to get delivery instructions, and it's all based on landmarks, right? There's no number, sometimes there are no street names. And however, our writers are very well trained to, once they know where one customer lives, they understand how to go back to that customer and they memorize where the address is. But that's one of our biggest obstacles.
My name is Levi Nyakundi, Marketing Director at Airtel Tanzania. Yatosha is a product that we launched in 2013 and gives customers the opportunity to get value for money. Essentially, Yatosha is a combo bundle that guarantees you for 500 shillings, 1,000 shillings, whatever you have, gives you SMS, gives you minutes, and gives you data. And therefore, we are saying that Yatosha really means that it's enough for you for the day. Once you buy Yatosha, you're done for the day. Your SMS needs are sorted out, your data needs are sorted out, and your talking needs are sorted out. Yatosha has grown to be very popular amongst Tanzanians. We've seen a lot of support for the product. It's become a cornerstone of our business. And we've come up with something called Yatosha Zaidi. Yatosha Zaidi really is our gesture to our customers, telling them, we are thankful for their support, we are thankful for their custom, we are thankful for making Yatosha such a big proposition for us, and we want to give them back, in some way, shape, or form. So what we've done in Yatosha Zaidi is really mooted a promotion for them, where we give them a Toyota IST every single day, and it's easy. Our customers do not have to do anything extra. All they have to do is buy their Yatosha as they normally do. And once they buy Yatosha, they get their minutes, SMS, and data. They start using their SMS, data, and voice, and go into the draw. So if you buy a daily Yatosha, you get, you go into the draw for that day. If you buy for a week, the weekly Yatosha pack, you go into the draw for 7 days. And if you buy the monthly pack, then your name and your number is in the draw all 30 days, giving you an opportunity to win a Toyota IST every single day. And our promise to the customers is that we'll always give them that value for money, and our products will always seek to serve them in the best way that we can, deliver that service to them. So we just ask our customers to continue supporting us. We are there for them.
We are here to give them the very best that there is in terms of technology, and also to give them opportunities like this one that Yatosha Zaidi has presented for them to win and walk away with a brand new car. There will be more and more of this coming along. There will be a lot more of this coming along, but there are cars to be won, guys. Many cars to be won. I have not even started giving out. There are many to be won, so make sure that you buy Yatosha. Make sure you tell your family, your friends to buy Yatosha and be part of this family. And you know what? You will be guaranteed that car at the end of the day.
Well, that's it from me, Yvonne Msemembo. Until next week, same time, it's goodbye from Business Edition.